So, welcome to my first video in my channel. I honestly don't know what to say because I just watched Baby Driver, and I've seen a few of Edgar Wright's films, like Shaun of the Dead or Hot Fuzz and The World's End, but I've never seen anything like this. This film is just. Imagine watching one of your most favorite songs times 10 with action and cars. It's like, whoa. Okay, so let me. There are some spoilers in this movie that I wish rather not to share, so I'm gonna just keep this simple. The story follows this kid who's like, it looks to be in his mid-20s, Enzo Egor. Sorry if I mispronounce your name, but he kind of gets tied into this business that he kind of gets connected with Kevin Spacey's character, Doc, and he initially becomes the driver. And the way they kind of introduced these characters was a really unique way. When this is a spoiler, his real name's Miles Teller, or no, that's the guy for who played, or whatever. It's Miles something. But the way they introduce him was, we see him in a red Subaru, which he actually does own, which is amazing, with John Berthel and John Hamm, and I forgot her name, but her name in the movie is Monica, or Darling. And we see him with these three robbers, and he's listening to music, and he's just sitting there for a little bit. And then next thing you know, when they leave, he starts jamming out and stuff like that. That's a great way to introduce a character, especially at his age. He's young, to be honest. Surrounded by a bunch of other old famous actors like Jamie Foxx, Kevin Spacey, John Hamm. Yeah, and this movie is so colorful. It is the most it's very unique in a sense. Like, I don't know, I think Edgar Wright had this idea of great robbery stories. At the same time, he wanted to kind of dive deeper into what he had. Because if you watch Shaun of the Dead and the World's End especially, because they have, if you notice in some scenes, I think in Shaun of the Dead, he started doing this. They're in a pub, or a bar for American terms. Sean and a bunch of his friends, and like Simon Pegg, a girl, and Nick Frost, both see a zombie. They grab like pool sticks, and the famous Queen's "Don't Stop Me Now" comes on, is like, and it's in time as they're beating this old man zombie. And when I first watched it, I was like, I was laughing because it was funny, it was unique. And then in the World's, I think it was, I don't remember if it was in the World's End, but in, I'm glad I kind of watched Baby Driver first, because I didn't actually see Hot Fuzz until after. And I watched Hot Fuzz, and I was like, oh, so there is, like, you can see peppers of, or like hints of everything he in the span of like 3 films, all starring one actor, Simon Pegg and like Nick Frost. All of these 3 films have culminated into one film, and it's amazing. So back to Baby Driver. Yeah, it's a very it's intense at some points. Like, what I loved about this film, there are some cons to it, and I'll get to that later, but like, there are like, you can feel the tension in the scene. For like, one, there's a scene where they go to this diner where Baby's girlfriend, or initially, like, is there, and then he doesn't want to do it because next thing you know, she finds out the truth. And the next thing you know, he's all like, this place sucks. And then Jamie Foxx's character's like, yeah, this place is bad. This place does suck. Let's light it up. He pulls out a gun. And the next thing, Baby stops it, like grabs his hand, and he's like, let's leave. And then all of a sudden, it was no music, but you can hear like the violins kind of kicking in, and it's so intense. It's just like you don't know what they're gonna do. Is Jamie Foxx gonna listen to him? So that's one of like Edgar Wright's technique as a director and producer, and I think he wrote this. It's an original film too, like with what Quentin Tarantino does. You know, with Django Unchained, Hateful Eight, every single film is original. And then in Baby Driver, like it was very choreographed, and it was very like well done. It was almost like a ballet, because in some scenes, especially in one, spoilers, well, I don't know, because they showed it in the trailers, the Tequila trailer, where you see them kind of go in a warehouse. That specific scene, he's actually listening to Tequila, and it was just like, it felt like a dance, because you're kind of jamming out to the music, da 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 da. At the same time, they're shooting like da da. And recently saw that, you know, they actually had a choreographer go 5, 6, 7, 8, and I was like, wow, so they really did do some dancing in there. And to me, that shows how dedicated they are. So, and also some of the driving stunts the actors actually did, so that's pretty amazing. All in all, like, I recommend to those who are like kind of like into filming, like I am. I'm into filming, and I watch a lot of classic films, like mostly kind of cinematography films, like Quentin Tarantino's film Hateful Eight. Hateful Eight was like kind of just spanning on the scenery, should I say? I was thinking of the word. But I watched a bunch of Edgar Wright's films, and I recommend watching this one if you're into trying to find the right theme of cinematography, because this one captures a romantic theme, a robbery theme, like a western, and that childish theme, like what Spider-Man Homecoming does. I also saw that one too, and I'll get to review later. But see, like, you get that sense of like childishness, like, I don't know, that's not a word, sorry. And also someone pointed this out recently, and I was just like, kind of like, oh, okay, because like someone said that this is basically if Star-Lord was never picked up in Guardians of the Galaxy, and if he became a professional driver. But if you think about it, he was born and raised around not the 90s, the 70s. If I watch that movie again, it's been a while, but I think it was the 70s, like 1979. So, and this movie takes place in 2016, so that wouldn't have worked. But at the same time, it makes a good concept because the music is so unique. Like in Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2, I recommend watching both of those. And it's just that it was like, for me, I couldn't stop like smiling and like couldn't stop being amazed. And I love when movies amaze me. I always do. Especially this one. This one blew my mind, especially with Spider-Man Homecoming, King Kong, Logan, all those like films that I've seen, brilliantly directed too. But there's always that sense of amazement to it, sense of like, oh, I've never seen this before, or like, oh, I've always wondered what it was like doing that, or I've always wondered, you know, like those questions you would ask if you're a teenager or a kid seeing something new for the first time. For example, there is a specific scene in this where you kind of get a sense of, oh, I've seen this before. At the same time, it's like, I've never seen this before. There's actually many of those scenes in this film, and it was just a blast. I had fun. This is the most fun I've had. And I mean, like, this is like a great summer blockbuster. I'm actually surprised it actually did 100%. to me, like, I would give this an 8 out of 10. There, that's my rating, an 8 out of 10. There's a few things I didn't like to that, and I'll get to that now. One being how long it was. That movie was actually 2 hours and 30 minutes, and I was hoping it'd be just a flat 2 hours because, one, the movie is like so filled with action. You don't know what to do. You don't know, like, you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. See, for example, like Kong or like Logan, it's like a well-paced, film. You don't know, you don't feel bored, and that both of those movies were long. There was like 2 hours each, but this movie, that's where for me it kind of falls, and not in a bad way, but to some people it will. But to me, it was just like, okay, because this my major spoilers too, by the way. Near the ending, Baby is accused and goes to jail, and the way they shot it was very, very long, because at the end okay, by the way, another spoilers, major spoilers, so I'm just saying, if you do not want this movie to be spoiled, go away at this moment, because this movie has actually really good spoilers, to be honest. I wasn't expecting it. I'll give you 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Okay, everyone dies besides Baby. Everyone you see in that trailer, John Berthel, that Monica, I can't really remember her name, is it? And I really am struggling here. And then Jamie Foxx's character, and even Kevin Spacey died, and I was blown away. I was just, no way, Edgar Wright. I was actually kind of hoping Kevin Spacey would live, but, and then, he, like, they accuse him of killing all of these people, all of them, for some reason. And then that's where they kind of show him being arrested because he wanted to go on a long trip with his girlfriend, Lily James from Downton Abbey. Yes, I know where you're from. And then, yes, I watched Downton Abbey too. And then he kind of goes through the process of court, prison time, parole, and then it was a 20-minute to 30-minute scene, and I was just sitting there like, because it makes it that, I guess, because I think it's the film starts off really fun and action-packed, and then the middle kind of hits the drama of each character, then the ending is like a bah, and then you have another ending, and it's like, okay, what? And then the moment things slow down, you get immediately bored, and you're just like, I wish it was ever okay. See, and then that's, for me, it's not a bad fault. It's just like, okay, so, but like, that's like, to me, the only thing that was bad. Well, in a way, not in like the very bad way, like, not like horrible. That's why I gave it an 8 out of 10, or like an 8.5. There you go. Okay, because I wasn't having so much fun with this film. I was having a blast, and I was just, I don't know, like, I can't really think of what else to do. Go out and see this film. Probably, this is probably late, by the way, like, I'm not even joking. Like, that movie came out in June 28th, and it's July 16th? 18th. Okay, I'm 17 or 18. No, it's 18th. This is such a struggle. But yeah, I recommend watching this. It's a fun movie. It's a thrill ride. For sure, Rotten Tomatoes actually did really well this time for some reason. It made sense. Rolling Stones, stuff like that. I was actually kind of going into this film very, like, I don't know what to expect. I was just thinking, like, because, like, I saw the trailers, I was amazed. Because, like, there's this one specific scene in the trailer where the car kind of makes it, like, a really cool 360 and then kind of goes back to it with a truck. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just look at the trailers, because that's in every single trailer. And I'm just like, whoa, I've never seen anything like that. I mean, Fast and the Furious have tried, but nothing that scale. And, I came into this movie very low expectations, and it blew it until the ending, sort of. And I just feel satisfied at the moment because the movie did its job, and that was to entertain. And I love films that do that, that do a little bit extra. And the cinematography was really well done too. And I always love a follow-up shot where, so basically there's this one scene where the car is coming like this way, and it comes towards the camera, and then the camera follows and it goes into the car. And I always love it when they do that. They did that in every single Fast and the Furious films, especially in Tokyo Drift. I think when he's drifting, you see the back end of the car, and then it follows, and then it goes into the driver's seat. They did that in Batman v Superman. Ooh. They did that in Batman v Superman, where the Batmobile kind of swings by the camera and then goes. I always love it when they do that sort of camera work. Also, the camera work was really well done. Like, for one, in Hot Fuzz and Baby Driver, they're so similar. So basically, there's two scenes where he's facing the road, and it, like, the road is imagine this is the road. It's facing down, pans up, there. In Hot Fuzz, it's just the road. But it's a smart technique to make you think, like, it makes you think, like, it's like that when you click on a tab and it's loading, it makes you think, like, what's gonna happen, you know? And he does this smart thing along with the music, where, like, everything is synced up, and, like, it's basically you're facing down at it. Like, this is the camera, this is the stuff, and it's facing down, and it's so smart. And yeah, and that's about it, actually. That was my review on Baby Driver.